What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Work Knife Balance. We're going to be diving into a new knife for the channel. This is a new company that I haven't looked at before. So let's go ahead and head to the top 10 and see what we got. Alright, so before we get too far into this, I want to go ahead and say thank you to anybody who's already liked and subscribed to the channel. If you haven't, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. If you like our content, we're going to keep making it, and the best way to support the channel is by subscribing below. You can also head over to Instagram and follow us at WorkKnifeBalance939. That's just a great way to communicate with us. We don't post a ton over there, but we do chat periodically with people over there. So yeah, without further adu, let's go ahead and dive in. This is going to be a Tenable EDC knives and tools. So Tenable is the company. I believe these are OEM'd by Kansept. So we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at this one. This one is a Wharncliffe, and I saw this on Kansept's website actually, so that's how I know they're OEM by Kansept. And thought this thing was pretty wicked. So I went ahead and picked this one up. This is about 60 bucks on Kansept's website. You can also get it on Blade HQ if that's your jam. But it comes with the knife all wrapped up in there. Has a nice little Tenable case right here, kind of goes through some of their knives, talks a little bit about care, warranty, what's covered, all that stuff and everything. And then it does have a little cloth as well that's stuffed down there in the bottom of the box. So let's go ahead and take a look at the knife though. That is what you're here for. So I got a purple G10 version. So this is a purple G10 with a black wash blade. And this thing is pretty sweet. It's snappy. It is a liner lock. I really enjoy the look of this knife. The style of this knife and everything has been something that kind of stood out to me. Plus, I don't have very many purple knives, so I wanted to get a purple knife. But yeah, we'll go ahead and do some tip to tail measurements. There's no unboxing on this because I got it and just didn't know what was in there, so I opened it up and then I was like, oh crap, that was the knife. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of do our overall impressions on this from the get-go. And we'll do tip to tail measurements, we'll do some side-by-side comparisons, and I've had this for a couple days now, so I haven't carried it in pocket yet, but I have fidgeted with it and messed around with it just around the house and everything. So I will give you my first off impressions on that, and then maybe you'll see it in a hard use video later down the road, or a top 10 or top 5 video or something like that. So we'll go ahead and get started with the measurements though. From tip to tail, we are looking at just about 7.5 inches on the overall length, about 3.25 on the blade, with about 3 inches on the cutting edge there. For some side-by-side comparisons, we'll go ahead and pull out the Sencut Kyril. This is the Ferrum Forge design right there. We'll go ahead and get a Kaiser Veritas, put that down below. We can go ahead and get the Civivi Elementum. This is the button lock Elementum, put that up top. Go ahead and do the Benchmade Bug Out, put that down below. We'll get a Hogue Deca up top here. Do the NAFS Lander 2 down below. And we'll do the CJRB Warney Pyrite up top. So it's quite a few different models, quite a few different makers and styles to compare it to. So hopefully you've got one of those knives, or at least you held one of those knives, and you're able to kind of see the comparison there. Right off the bat, ergos on this thing are fantastic. You have a little choil that I don't believe is a choke-up choil, but you can get in here. And if you do that, then you're able to use this little like swedge in this top part. Not swedge, I guess this little depression in this top part. I believe it's kind of a thumb ramp on the backside, but when you get your thumb over here, you can actually hold in really nice. And with your thumb on this side, it's weird to explain the ergonomics over a video with, I mean, you're looking at my hand so you can see it, but when I put my thumb in here, the pressure is going back towards the handle of the knife, which pulls this finger back as well away from the blade, so that you're not pinching on the blade at all. So even though that's not a choke-up choil, you have a really comfortable grip right in there because of that. And so I really like that. That design was pretty sweet. I believe you just got a flat grind through on this. We are sitting on 14 C28N steel. Let's see if we can zoom in on that bad boy right there. 14C28N steel. And then this is the maker's mark right here. This is, the designer is Doc, and then the knife is the Prometheus. So this is the Tenable Prometheus designed by Doc, D-O-C-K, D.O.C.K. So I don't know what Doc stands for. I'll probably have to take a look at that. This is my first knife I've seen by Doc, and first knife that I've seen with that logo on it right there. So I'll definitely have to look into this a little bit further and see if there's other designs out there by them that I really like. It is a tip-up carry. It is not ambidextrous on the clip, so you can only carry it on one side. It doesn't flip over to the other side. There are other versions that's available. The one that's on Blade HQ is a stonewash blade with a blue micarta. You still have that kind of milled inlay for design right there. And then it looks like there's like a brass or a bronze color pivot collar around the pivot there, which actually is a really good looking knife. It's a pretty sweet looking knife in itself in that variation right there. So I will probably link that one below because I think that one's pretty sweet and I like that. I may link this one as well. I know when I got this one from Kansept's website, it said limited quantity, so I don't know how many of these are going to be left available. Other than the ergos on this thing, the action is fantastic. You have really good lock bar access to kind of bring that down. The one thing I will say, and this is just a design, because it's a flipper tab, you can see great lock bar access right there. Because it's a flipper tab, you've got to pull your thumb all the way back here in order to get that drop shut action down to you. If you have your thumb here, that flipper tab just hits your thumb and it kind of stops in the detent area. So if you have it too much, it stops in the detent area and it'll snap itself back up. Enough to get it out, but then you got to push over. So the flipper tab just a little bit too long for my liking. Otherwise, you got to pull further back like this, like I said before, and then you're able to get that all the way down. But you can easily one-handed close like that as well. So not too big of a knife that you can't do one-handed close without the dropping action. I just prefer a knife personally when I'm able to drop down to the thumbnail and then kind of shake it closed. You do have a nice kind of controlled shake shut if you get it right in that area there too, so you can see. This is coming in perfectly centered, which we expect nothing less in 2024 from knives. You're sitting on some nice little pillars on the back side here. I don't believe there's any area for a lanyard, so if you're a lanyard guy or lanyard person, lanyard lady, and you want to put a lanyard on a knife, this is not the knife for you because you can't put a lanyard on this one unless you do your own modifications and drill out a spot here or something like that. Then you might be able to. Actually, yeah, I don't know if you would be able to because how close the blade cuts in there. You may have to drill out a spot in between these two, but then you're looking at the structural integrity in between those areas, and I don't know. So maybe there's no chance for a lanyard on this without a redesign at all. But I don't have to worry about that because I'm not a lanyard person. I don't like lanyards that much. There's very few knives I have in my collection with lanyards on them. So yeah, super snappy action, really nice, great belly for slicing, really good ergos, really good kind of both forehand and reverse grip feel on this. There's not much left to say. I'm really excited to kind of look at a couple more Tenable knives. When I was on Kansept's website, I saw a few, and I don't know if this is like, if Tenable is Kansept's, and if you know, let me know below. I don't know if Tenable is like Kansept's, like Sencut for Civivi and Wii. I don't know if Tenable is just another variation or like Ironfly for Kunwu or something like that. If it's just their kind of budget line, or if it is truly just a different company that is OEM'd through Kansept. So I'll have to look into that. I did see a couple other really cool designs in there that I really liked from these, so maybe we'll see some later down the road. But not much left to say. Until next time, TTFN.